Hi, I'm Miloni Bhatt, and welcome to this special conversation, part of ET Boardroom Dialogues, where we delve into sustainability and its profound impact on businesses. In a rapidly changing world, the significance of adopting green practices cannot be overstated. Now more than ever, companies are realizing the importance of integrating sustainability into their core strategies, not only to safeguard the environment, but also to secure a competitive edge. And as we focus on the Indian context, a country which is rich in diverse industries and vibrant business landscapes, understanding corporate actions taken towards sustainability becomes very crucial. So in this conversation, we explore why green is good and unraveling the symbiotic relationship between sustainability and business success. And so I'm very happy to welcome my guest today, Mr. G.V. Prasad. He's the co-chairman and MD of Dr. Reddy's Labs. Welcome, Mr. Prasad, and we're very excited to hear your thoughts on your journey of building sustainable business practices that drive long-term growth and profitability.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. As you know, the world is facing an unprecedented crisis. We are set to breach the 1.5 degrees centigrade temperature rise that we set for ourselves. There's huge population explosion in all places. There is loss of forest cover, and we are facing shortages of water and many other things as a result of human activity. So I think it's very appropriate that we as corporates and as individuals start taking sustainability seriously and also do all that we can to protect our environment and restore the ecological balance.
Dr. Reddy's Labs has been focusing on sustainability even before it became a buzzword. So as the co-chairman and managing director of a big pharmaceutical company, could you provide insights into the significance of sustainability for businesses, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry, and in the light of growing concerns about climate change and environmental degradation?
One of the things that, as a pharmaceutical company, we should be aware of is that the health of the planet is intimately linked to our health.
Yeah.
If the planet is sick, we can't be healthy. This past pandemic is a result of a virus which jumped from wildlife into humans, what we call as zoonotic diseases. And this has happened because the boundaries between wilderness and humans are fast disappearing. So this is one good reason for us to take the environment seriously. But there are many, many such things. Climate change is on the horizon. Agriculture is getting destroyed. The rivers are getting polluted. There are many distressful things around us as a result of human activity that has happened. So it's very important, not just for individuals, but for corporations to do the right thing, for themselves, for the planet, for society, and for the world. And that's why I think this conversation about environment, about sustainability should become mainstream. It should become integral part of our strategy. And that is what we did in the last financial year. 2023 is a very big year for us in terms of relooking at sustainability, taking some really bold goals on all aspects of sustainability and integrating them into our strategy and our mainstream, performance system.
Mr. Prasad, what were the obstacles or difficulties that you faced while implementing some of these practices, and how did you overcome them?
Well, our journey started decades ago. Maybe 25, 30 years ago is when we really started looking at the environment very seriously. The big challenge those days was the access to technology, access to the right solution to prevent environmental impact of our discharges. Fortunately, we've, all industrial houses have access to the technology today. Investment is not a big obstacle, and we've overcome them. But there is also the employee mindset, the mindset that, production is more important than protecting the environment. Financial results are more important than environmental impact. So all these, things we had to overcome, and we have overcome them. And today, I think nobody talks about this, that there's a trade-off between profits and the planet, that conversation has changed. So everybody knows that it is what if you achieve profits at the cost of the planet, that is completely not the right thing to do.
That is not profitable in the long run.
Yes, even in the short term, I think people have accepted that notion that planet comes first.
But how do you commercialize sustainability? As a company, when you have your employees, and of course, all businesses have bottom lines and top lines, they have to look at their employees, they have to look at growth. But so how do you do that at Dr. Reddy's Labs?
See, first and foremost, I think we all at Dr. Reddy's understand that if we don't do the right things, that's not a way to running a business. That's not a way of running a business. So doing the right thing comes naturally to all of our employees, all of our colleagues. And in that process, I think we were looking at our environmental initiatives and our sustainability initiatives from a perspective of being less impactful on the planet. So from there, we said that instead of being less impactful, let's be maximally good, see what's the best we can do. And hence that perspective really transformed how we look at the sustainability as a whole thing. And we took some very bold and audacious goals. Just as an example, we want to be carbon neutral by 2030. 100% of our power by 2030 has to come from renewable sources. We want to be water positive in the next 2 years. We've already achieved zero waste to landfill some couple of years back. So these are our environmental goals. In terms of other goals, in terms of serving patients, we were serving about 500 million patients, around 500, 600 million patients, depending on how we estimate it. And we've taken a goal that we want to increase the number of patients we touch from 600 million to 1.5 billion. We also said that we should start innovating to find solutions for diseases which don't have satisfactory solutions today. And we would like to bring at least 3 innovations to the market every year, 3 years from now, to solve unmet medical needs or poorly met medical needs. So that should drive us to innovate. It should also drive us to find technological solutions like green chemistry, waste recycling, water upcycling, avoiding packaging materials which are harmful to the environment, and a host of other things. So these constraints that we put on the business will actually spur innovation and find solutions which will be value adding both to us and to the planet.
Mr. Prasad, this is very interesting, but how do you further sustainability beyond the company, to your customers? Yes, this is all product related innovation that you want to bring in, or process related innovations that you want to bring in. But, how do you also encompass, or how do you extend the framework of sustainability to, say, educate customers as well?
So in our case, the impact by the customers is not going to be very significant. The medicines they take are less small volume and they get degraded. They're all biodegradable, so the system excretes them. The bigger issue for us is packaging. Second, I think, is the industrial operations that we have and their impact on the environment. And our suppliers. Actually, our suppliers are the biggest source of carbon emissions for us. And that is what we call as scope 3 emissions. Yeah. So we started the process of quantifying them, working with our big vendor partners, and hopefully we will have an impact on them. We've taken a goal of a 12.5% reduction in scope 3 emissions. I know it's not ambitious enough, but I think scope 3 has a lot of challenges in terms of estimating, quantifying, accounting, and hence we took a more modest goal. Yeah. So we're starting that process. So of impacting our suppliers and vendors. And of course, some of the bigger ones are already ahead of the game, and we are happy to be working with them.
All right. And what's been the response, with these stakeholders?
First and foremost, I think we got unprecedented support from our board, from our shareholders, and from our customers. And in general, our employees are very excited that the company has thought about the environment in a very bold way, and they're all very energized and they contribute towards it, not just at the workplace, but also at home. So in totality, I think this has been a powerful driver of motivation for everybody involved in the company.
All right. You spoke of employees, sustainable practices. They require this cultural shift, right, within an organization. I know you've been saying, that for Dr. Reddy's labs, it's been a process which you set in place, many decades back. But, how do you continue and how do you fuel the employee engagement and awareness? And, how do you educate them about the significance of sustainability and, the kind of steps that you might have taken to foster this culture of environmental responsibility? If you could give us an example or two.
So we have several programs in the company. We have people who volunteer to be water ambassadors, safety ambassadors, power conservation ambassadors. So they not only do their work in the workplace, but they also go out, influence people in their societies, in their circles, as well as in schools everywhere. This increases their commitment to sustainability and to the environment, and it also brings in the culture of protecting the environment well beyond our operations. That is one part. The other part is the next generation of employees that are coming into the workforce are very vocal. They will not work for a company who's polluting, and they don't want to be part of a company which is not doing the right things. So I feel that there is so much pressure from our own employees that I welcome that positive pressure. The next generation is much more vocal, and they won't forgive us if we do something wrong.
You also spoke of innovation and technology and how that can drive sustainable practices. If we, extend the scope a little bit, how do you think other pharma companies, who may not have the depth or the resources of a Dr. Reddy's, adopt or tweak some of the things that you're doing? How does collaboration work?
So collaboration actually happens in very interesting ways. First of all, diffusion happens. Employees from my company go to join another company and they take their ideas with them. Technology diffuses through vendors. Vendors who have solved a problem for us will go and market them. So this happens in a very, natural osmotic process. I don't think you need to have, strong collaboration among the peers to get there. Technology diffuses itself very rapidly. The market forces make the solutions available to everybody. So I don't see that as a barrier, actually, if you have the right mindset and you are motivated to do the right thing.
All right, but what advice, would you give other companies looking to incorporate sustainable practices into their business models, to achieve that growth and to marry it with profitability?
I don't want to be arrogant enough to, give advice to others. But as far as our company is done, is do what we are doing, I think we have to do a lot more. We have taken bold goals, and there is a lot to be done. And we really, whatever we do is not enough. There's already a lot of carbon load in the atmosphere. We have to remove the carbon load and not add to it. And whatever we do still, I think, is not going to be enough. And that is my worry, really. And as a company, I think I'm constantly looking for ways to improve our impact on the environment and be a real positive force on the environment rather than create more carbon into this world. And if you look at all the things that are happening, whatever we do, we are still going to fall short. And that is very worrying for all of us. And, I'm glad you're doing this series because I hope you can motivate everybody to put their shoulder to the wheel and help heal the planet.
No, what you're saying, Mr. Prasad, it's a very sobering thought. As a big pharma company such as yourself, you are saying that whatever we do is not going to be enough. Already, corporate and businesses are putting out their goals. Countries are putting out their goals, but obviously there are challenges. This is now my last question to you, and it focuses on these challenges. So what are the challenges that you specifically see for India over the next 25 odd years? When it comes to this growth that we need, which also will be propelled, and how do you temper that with sustainability? Based on the pillars of justice and equity?
Yeah. So firstly, I think we should not follow the Western model of development. Development without pollution, without environmental impact is what we should find a solution for and find solutions for. So the government and the regulators and industry and the society should work in developing a framework which will help improve the lives of many people who are below the poverty line today, but without damaging the environment. We somehow have to de-link this development with carbon as our carbon footprint. And I think that is the defining challenge for our generation, to see how we can move forward, improve the quality of life, improve standards of living without negative impact on the environment. We need to use environmental friendly transport methods, industrial methods, buildings, all of this. We really need a revolution to meet our goals for improving the lives of 1.5 billion people, as well as not impact the environment. And I hope politicians and governments and leaders take this up as a generational challenge for the sake of our planet.
Do you think we're well poised to meet this challenge?
We are better off than many countries, I think, because we didn't. First of all, I think Indians, by nature of our upbringing and our resource constraints, have always been frugal. So I think it will come more easily for us than for a society which is really steeped in consumption. So in that sense, I think we are at a better place. We are at a place where we are growing. So the growth can be carbon negative growth, and overall it can also help the economy.
Right. On that note, Mr. J.V. Prasad, thank you so very much, for your thoughts, and we wish you and your company all the best as you attempt to, make the business as sustainable as possible, not just for your own company, not just for your own growth and profitability, but for the society at large.
Thank you so much, and may your work result in better planet for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.